guys, what is up? It's Young here from Bobby and Babby's Dog Bakery and DIY, and I thought I'd change things up a bit this week and film a get to know me video so we can get to know each other better. I was thinking the other day, man, I've been running this dog bakery for many years and I've never really formally introduced myself, and I thought, gosh, how rude of me to do that. The truth is, I've been avoiding putting myself out there. I'm super camera shy and this is completely out of my comfort zone. Over the years, I've been asked a lot of questions about Bobby, Bambi, the dog bakery, and who's behind the dog bakery. Today, I'm going to talk about the backstory of the dog bakery and some fun questions, and the next video, I'll talk about all about the dog bakery business. So here we go. I have two dogs, Bobby and Bambi. Bobby is 15, Bambi is 13. We also had a puppy mill rescue. Her name was Chloe. She passed January 3rd of 2018. I also have a cat and his name is Daddy. I have a funny story about him that involves a psychic and I'll post that on my Instagram. This is kind of a long response, so bear with me. I was living in New York City. I had just graduated from fashion school and living out my fashion design career dreams, and I met Bobby in 2005. When he was about 3 years old, we moved back to California, where I'm originally from. But when we moved back, Bobby was always sick and I didn't know why, and I just thought, oh, maybe it's because he's in a new environment and he just needs to adjust. But he never got better, and I took him to the vet every week and to the emergency room about every 2 to 3 months. And it broke my heart because I didn't know how to fix him, make him feel better, and it just made me feel so guilty. I tried everything, and one day I thought maybe it's the food he's eating, and I was assured time and time again, no, it's not the food, he's fine, he's on a prescription diet, this is the best thing for him. But he didn't get better and he just kept getting worse. Whenever it was his meal time, either breakfast or dinner, he would do his happy meal dance, and once I'd grab that can and scoop the food out into his bowl, he would just look at me, sigh, and just reluctantly eat his food, and it just made me so sad that he wasn't enjoying what he was eating. And I looked at his food and I was like, oh, I wouldn't want to eat this, why should Bobby? And it made me feel guilty that he wasn't happy. I remembered one of my bosses from a previous job had told me about UC Davis's pet nutrition program. She had taken her dogs up north to meet with a pet nutritionist, and they had this program where they were able to formulate a custom home-cooked meal plan for her dogs. She absolutely loved the experience, and I thought, oh my goodness, I need to get on this. If you're interested in doing something like this, I'll click a link in the description box below. I am not sponsored by UC Davis. I just thought I'd pass on the information to you. I was so excited about this. I made a list of questions and I called UC Davis the next day. I was lucky to have been able to have a conversation with a pet nutritionist. She was amazing and I was so grateful she took the time to speak with me, and she gave me so much information. She told me, like, you know what, dogs, they can't process all of these highly processed foods. A lot of dogs are allergic to chicken, complex carbohydrates, gluten, and you know what, all of this chemical additives is really not good for the dogs, and what you're putting in your dogs is a gateway to health problems in the future. My mind exploded. I was like, what is holistic? What is gluten? What, my dog can't eat chicken? Wheat? What's in the dog food? Keep in mind, this was back in 2008 and pet nutrition was definitely not what it is today. And this sent me down a rabbit hole of information, some enlightening and some just horrifying. What the heck are dog food companies putting in our dogs' food? I got mad because I'm trusting these food companies to have the best interests for my dogs, And since they're not, I needed another route. The pet nutritionist that I spoke to from UC Davis, she gave me a list of holistic veterinarians to contact in my area. And you better believe I contacted every single one, and I was able to get a hold of one holistic pet nutritionist, and he was so great. He said, the first thing he said to me was, "Dear, please feed your dog real food. Let your dog heal with real food." I told him I've been conditioned to think dogs can't have human food. Dogs don't eat vegetables. Dogs have to eat dog food. He said, "No, please just give your dog real food." We ended the conversation with him giving me a lot of great advice, some books to read, and that very night I cooked Bobby his very first home-cooked meal. It just made me so happy to see him so excited to eat his food for the first time. Of course he loved it, and I thought, wow, this is a victory number one. So after a few days, I want to say about 70% of his ailments just cleared up. No more runny poop, no more bloody diarrhea, no more vomiting. After a few weeks, a lot of things just cleared up. His fur was shinier and standing up, not limp. And it was just like a transformation that was so amazing to see. And that was the second victory. The third was when I took him to his veterinarian. We did a blood work and everything came out perfect. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is amazing. From that point on, Bobby went from going to the veterinarian's office every week to just 6 months for his wellness check. And he's got so much more energy. His eyes were shiny and glistening. And I was just so happy. And then I became obsessed with pet nutrition. I said, okay, now that I have his food, I'm gonna bake him some treats and just cook for him all day, every day. This not only helped Bobby, it's helped so many dogs that we've rescued and rehabilitated over the years, and we've seen one transformation after another, after another, after another. Just taking a little breather for now. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, turn on the bell for notification, and let's get back to the video. I was labeled as the crazy dog lady. People thought I was so crazy to be cooking and baking for my dogs, and I would always get the occasional eye roll. But about 5 years into baking and cooking for Bobby and Bambi, people started to ask me, hey, can you make my dog food? Can you make my dog treats? My husband said, hey, why don't we start a business and help other dog parents? He's like, it looks like you're not the only crazy dog lady out there, and maybe other people can benefit from this too. I was reluctant because I said, who's gonna buy from me? I'm not a veterinarian, I'm not a pet nutritionist. And he said, well, why don't we just try and see? So I spent about 8 months getting everything ready with like the food testing, the food laws, the legal, and getting the recipes ready for market. And we launched in 2014 at a pet expo. I remember when the doors first opened and then nobody was there yet, I cried because I thought, oh my goodness, I spent 8 months working on this and it's gonna flop. And then my husband laughed at me. He said, Minya, I've done a lot of these trade shows. You need to give it like a good hour for everyone to come in. And he's all, we're like in the middle, so it's probably gonna take an hour before people were gonna get in. But I couldn't help it. I was just like crying. But then we ended up selling out of all of our inventory in just about 2 hours. But it was at that moment I thought, wow, I'm not the only crazy dog lady out there, and I'm just like everybody else wanting the very best for my dogs. I didn't want anything that had like crazy words like xylophenol, blah 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 blah. Obviously I made that up, but you know what I mean? It's like, what the heck is this? And I was certain that's what other pet parents wanted as well. I knew in my heart and my gut that the pet industry needed to be better. It drives me absolutely crazy whenever I see pet food or pet treat packaging that has all the marketing buzzwords like all natural, 100% organic, the best thing for your dog. And I look and they're using red number 40 as food coloring, which is known to cause seizure in dogs. A lot of pet brands lead with integrity but lack integrity. and that was not okay with me. So this just gave me the drive to really work really hard to really pursue this like crazy idea we had. Whenever we're at a pet expo, I get this question a lot. Did you go to pastry school? No, I didn't, but I wish I did. That would have been so much fun. So no, I had no baking or cooking experience whatsoever. I couldn't even cook for myself. I can't even bake or cook from scratch for humans. I know it sounds crazy. If I were on a baking or cooking show, I would be the loser because I don't know. I even mess up box cakes. So my friends and family think it's so funny I do this for a living because I'm the worst cook and baker. So if I can do it, you can do it. This is something I would have never ever done ever because I just do not, I am so awkward on camera. I received emails when the shutdown happened asking me to share recipes, and I thought maybe I'll do a blog, but I thought, oh, it's so much easier to just show it on video so then people can see like the technique or the tools I'm using or how I'm using the tools. And so I just put up a video, and I was just not expecting the response that I received. I thought maybe 10 people would view it. I'd get like 1 or 2 subscribers from my husband and my family. But thank you so much for those of you who subscribed, liked, and shared on your social media and tried the recipes. It just means the world to me, and thank you so much. I've been a dog mom and baking for Bobby and Bambi for over 12 years, and I have a lot to share. I want to share like recipes, like DIY projects, life hacks. So I'm hoping to create a community where we can grow and learn from each other, thinking of maybe starting a Facebook group. So like with moms with children, how they share tricks and tips with each other with their kids, like we can do that with our dogs. By no means is this a replacement for professional medical care for your dogs. Of course, the first thing you should do is see your veterinarian or pet nutritionist, but I thought this would be a great way to build a dog mom or dog dad, dog parent community. I also wanted to highlight rescue groups from all over the world so we can come together and help rescue groups globally. That would be so dreamy and so wonderful to do. My absolute favorite chill kind of night is having glass of wine and watching reality TV. I am such a reality TV junkie. I love The Bachelor, all things Bravo. This made me laugh out loud so hard because in my PB and Oats recipe video, I had mentioned that I was super late to the game with Tiger King. Probably the last person to binge watch Tiger King. The truth is, I had so many things in my DVR that I wanted to watch. I had Housewives, I had so many things, so I got through that first and then jumped onto the Tiger King bandwagon, and I'm so glad I did. It was wild. My absolute favorite restaurant is no longer around, and it's so sad. They closed their doors this year. It's a restaurant called Curry House. I've been eating there since I was in 5th grade. It was like my first waitressing job out of high school before I went to college. It was Japanese style curry. It was so good. If you live in the SoCal area and have any suggestions, please comment below and let me know your favorite Japanese curry spot. Okay, don't judge me. My most favorite thing to eat during this quarantine is Lucky Charms. I know, it's terrible, but it's so good. I love marshmallows. You love marshmallows too, Mommy? I love marshmallows, and this cereal just makes me so happy. As you can see, I'm a terrible groomer. I just used some clippers and some shears, hair cutting shears, and went to town. I think they look cute though. Why Pomeranians? Why not Pomeranians? I've loved Pomeranians since I was a kid. I was that kid in elementary school that went to the school library and they had this book about Pomeranians and I read it every day. I know, don't judge me. I'm such a nerd, but I've always wanted a Pom ever since I was little. That's all we have for today. I would love to learn something about you. Comment below a fun fact about yourself. And if you have any questions, you can always DM me at Bobby and Bambi's Dog Bakery or on our website at bobbyandbambi.com. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!